What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Games podcast with myself, Jaden, Jesse, and
your boy Bubz. How you doing, everyone?
What's
going on?
Now, when we're recording this, the first episode is out. Okay. So how did you feel about the first episode, Joe?
It was the best, most hitch-free first episode I've ever done for anything, so I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah.
Pretty pleased. Kudos on the audio editing. You did a good job there.
Oh, thanks, man.
Sounds crisp.
If
anyone hasn't heard it, it's on pretty much every streaming platform you can think of right now. Apple, Spotify. The list goes on.
Yep.
So.
And if you can't find it, just go to our link tree. It's linktree/NoGamesPod. So go to there and you can find it anywhere you like, or just go to the YouTube channel at No Games Podcast. So yeah, man. So small talk time, man. How have you been? What have you been up to? What has really pissed you off today? I'm kidding.
Today? Oh wow. Well,
yes.
It's currently only 9:33 in the morning over here, so thankfully the world hasn't had too much of a chance to piss me off today so far. But no, last 2 weeks have been good, man. Just, like I was saying before we started rolling, busy with work. Work's really kind of hectic right now, so without going into too much detail, I'm kind of in this weird interim space where it's kind of like a couple weeks of prolonged quietness and not really any, without any certainty of when things are going to pick up. And then the last, like this last week that's just passed, it just went from 0 to 100 real like that. And it just kind of stayed at 100 for the whole week. So obviously that takes a little bit of a toll, but yeah, I mean, it passes the time quicker at least. So yeah. Good. How have you been? Yeah,
not too bad, man. Just going, man. Just editing the podcast together, make sure that the episodes come out on time. I was a bit worried about the second one. I thought I wasn't going to get it done in time, to be honest. I forgot to say that to you, actually. But it is...
Now you tell me.
Yeah, it's fine. It's up. It's ready to come out on Monday, okay? That's all. Yeah, man, that's, I mean, for the most part, that's pretty much it. I got a new camera, finally, so I'm not going to keep glitching out, which was so annoying about that camera, because I had the Logitech Stream Cam, and I bought it like 3 years ago, and it was great when I first got it. Like, it worked fine, it did everything I wanted it to do, and then because I originally got it when I was like going hard out into YouTube in 2020, and then I stopped going hard out into YouTube for ages, and then I started back up in September last year, and next thing I know, there was this friggin' glitch thing that was happening every now and then, and it just kept getting more and more prevalent every time I would record. So finally, I just decided to bite the bullet, and I bought a Razer Kiyo Pro camera because it was on sale. Thankfully, Razer had it like half price, so that was great.
Yeah, it's looking crisp, man. I got to tell you, looking real crisp.
Thanks, man. And I bought a light as well, like a colored light from Amazon. It was like $22. So yeah, man, I just thought I'd up it a little bit, and especially for the podcast now, I don't really want to be glitching out every now and again. It's just not good, but is what it is. One thing that I did want to talk to you about, though, that happened in like this past week, and I'm not sure how up you are on it, but I mean, if you've been on the internet, you probably saw it and know about it.
Try me.
What does the name Melle mean to you right now?
Actually, nothing. I guess I'm not I guess I'm not as chronically online as some people. What was the name?
Melle.
Melle? No, doesn't ring a bell, my dude.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge.
You are speaking another language to me right now, my guy.
You are the rapper here. You are the rapper here. Okay.
But let me tell you something. Do you know what's been the centerpiece of my Spotify listening the last few days?
Jade and Jesse.
Ready for this? Huh?
Jade
Yes.
and
No, to be fair, okay. No, I will. Okay, little detour, real quick. I did listen just yesterday to your. What was your joint with Screw?
Switching up.
Switching up. I did listen to Switching Up. That's a fucking bop.
Oh,
Anyway,
appreciate that.
it's like 2009 to 2013 French rap. That's been the so before you take too much of the piss out of me for not knowing, what was it, Melrose Millie or whatever the fuck you called it.
Melle ring around the rosy.
Okay.
Yeah, Mel.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me a crash course. What's been going on?
Okay, so he has been beefing with the White Knight, the number one in a lot of people's top fives.
Oh no,
Mr.
Tom McDonald.
No, less racist. Okay,
Marginally.
Yeah.
Marginally.
Mr. Marshall Mathers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, since you don't know the whole story, I will catch you up, and for people who are listening who don't know the story, I will catch them up too. So, Melle goes on an interview. I'm pretty sure it was on Vlad TV, which is all the bullshit. All the bullshit always happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he says that Eminem would not be in so many people's top fives if he wasn't white.
Okay. Interesting take.
Yes. Now, the internet went into a storm, as they usually do, whether it's, Eminem dick riders, which I do understand exist as well, but also just rap purists as well.
Yeah.
And basically, that spawned the fact that next, just a week ago, or a little more than that, maybe a couple of weeks ago, Easy Mill was signed to Shady and Aftermath. Have you heard of Easy Mill?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that I have.
Now, fantastic rapper, Filipino, can rap, sing, dance, incredible. Great sign. Eminem has a verse on the first song that he's got, Shady Aftermath.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Now, Eminem in that verse, this is the game, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Which the line was, the only reason you still get played in the clubs is because you still perform in them, which is very true. Now, the thing that people are talking about, though, is that him saying about, basically, he spoke about the juxtapositions of the fact that, he does his best to be technical and does his best to be the best and always puts his best foot forward, but can't be considered top 5 or number 1 because he's white. Then says this to Melle about says something about a meteor, and then made the connection with Melle. We lost his asteroids because he's very beefed up and looks like he's taking steroids.
Right.
But the whole point of this is because Melle responded with a diss track. Now,
I thought we were past the era of diss tracks, man. Seriously, I thought people would have looked at the MGK shit that went down back in 2018 and learned their lesson, but I guess not.
Yep, I thought so too, because this when I say okay, have you? So probably one of the worst diss tracks that have ever been put up against Eminem was the Benzino diss track. This is worse than that. This basically
worse than Deji's on Swarms.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't think that was possible.
Yep. Because so this man, okay, respect, he's an OG, he's one of the pioneers of rap, but he decides to go with the 80s rap flow for this verse. Well, that's the thing, it was only a 1-minute diss track.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute, and his flow pretty much for the whole thing was, these weren't the lyrics, but it was basically, Eminem ain't better than me. 1, 2, 3, ha ha ha, he he he.
Good Christ.
For 1 minute, I think the only line that I really remember from it was where it was just like, why you so mad? Now you look bad, like a roach just crawled out of your book bag.
You know, usually, part of me, if I were in M's shoes, I'd be like seriously torn between, do I even waste my time and energy responding to that? Do I even waste a single breath on this fucking guy, or do I use just how terrible it is to just absolutely destroy this man's life? Because, I mean, MGK, I can talk shit about that guy's fucking diss track all day, MGK's diss track.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you make Rap Devil look like a fucking masterpiece as a diss track, then you know you've done. I mean, there's so much subject matter that can be said about that. So
yes.
Yeah, so he went for the 80s flow thing. I think that's interesting.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know many people that do that as, you know, in just their regular creative pursuits, never mind a fucking diss track.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing. He has been very critical over the years of modern rap. Because the thing is, again, he came out in the 80s, and then every single decade, it seems he comes out and he's like, oh, I don't like this new rapper. I don't like this new rap group or whatever. Like, because I watched an interview that Method Man did, and Method Man was saying even at one stage, Melle was just straight up ignoring him at like some event that they were at together because he just didn't like Wu-Tang Clan. Okay. And then the next event that they saw each other at, he was dapping him up saying how great he was. Now, it's just, but I don't understand how. So, I mean, he's one of the pioneers of rap, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 are legends. Now, I don't understand how he cannot understand, even if he doesn't like M's music, that's fine. How does he not understand the fact that his pen game is just crazy, that he's just technically superb? How do you not make that connection, whether you like the dude's music or not?
It's going to be one of two things. It's going to be as simple as and as juvenile as like just insecurity, right?
Yep.
Like an ego thing, pride thing. Maybe he's clinging on to his glory days. I don't know. Or would you describe him as a purist, like an 80s rap purist?
Probably, yeah. An 80s rap purist, yes. But nothing past that, because he's still stuck there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just one of those guys that's really stuck in his ways.
Yeah. And if you'll get the chance, and you too, Joe, Screw, as you mentioned earlier, Screwface Jean, he made a hilarious skit about that. So I think that is a great watch. So everybody go check that out. Yeah. All right, well, now that we got that out of the way, because I really wanted to talk to you about that, but I mean, you weren't that versed on it, surprisingly.
No, I wasn't. No, I'm ashamed to say that's kind of the tip of the iceberg when it comes to things I'm not very well versed in. So, but I'm not going to go any further. Maybe that's subject matter for a different day.
Yep. Yep, that's fair. That's the thing. Honestly, I think the reason that I'm so well versed on it is because I spend too much time on social media, one, and two, because
I got some stuff to say about that, but we'll get to that.
Yes, stay tuned, everybody. But also because I tend to look at a lot of Eminem stuff, and I tend to watch his lyrical breakdowns that people like Crypt and Stevie Knight do and all that kind of stuff. Google knows what the hell I'm doing. Again, this comes back to cybersecurity, like the first episode, because Google just keeps recommending me shit, and well, the whole internet keeps recommending me shit to do with Eminem. So it's probably something to do with that. But
could be.
Let's get into the topic for today. Now, I want to talk about some interesting lawsuits that have gone on very recently, in recent times for the most part. Now, the thing that spawned this idea for me is because, are you familiar with the music critic on YouTube, Anthony Fantano?
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not that out of the clue.
Okay, no. That wasn't the implication.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you haven't heard of the Fanta, as I like to call him, then then you're doing something wrong. Yeah, no, I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Melon Man.
Exactly.
Well, he is currently in the midst of a lawsuit with the gaming company Activision. Have you heard about this?
Very briefly in passing. I don't know too many details.
Okay. Well, basically what's happened is Anthony Fantano, who went viral last year for a meme that was on TikTok of him reacting to a pizza being cut too many times and screaming that it was enough slices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, recently, Activision made an ad where they used that sound, which Anthony Fantano did put into the commercial sound library on TikTok, which means that everybody can use it. Brands, normal creators, everybody.
Okay.
So they used it for an ad that was for some Crash Bandicoot shoes that they were promoting.
Interesting.
And Anthony Fantano tried to hit them up for compensation.
Okay.
Now, because he cannot do that, because it was a part of the commercial sounds library, Activision are basically countersuing him because basically he just shouldn't have been asking them for money for something that's in the commercial sound library. That's free for everybody to use.
Okay. So just to pause it there for a second, I didn't know you could do that. Like, I didn't know that was where, I mean, I suppose technically you can sue anyone for anything you want.
Yeah.
But when I say I didn't think you could do that, I didn't think anybody would waste their time doing that, because obviously lawsuits cost money. However, if we're talking about Activision, I don't think money's that much of a concern for them. But I mean, I would have assumed that they would have just turned around and said, on your bike. Like, I didn't. So yeah,
Yep.
Surprised to hear that they actually followed through with a lawsuit. Interesting.
Yes. Well, now it gets even worse, because the thing is, if Activision lose this lawsuit, what this could mean is that even if sounds are registered into the commercial sound library on TikTok, if any creator is to use them, technically the creator of that sound can hit them up for compensation.
Okay. Now,
so basically, in my case anyway, I'm rooting for Activision to win this. As much as I love Anthony Fantano, he's a great music critic. Don't agree with all of his takes, but I want him to lose very badly, because I mean so if basically that means if say let's I'm trying to think of a popular sound that's been on TikTok recently.
Sure.
Let's say, I don't know, song's kind of different, but let's just say it was a video of Cardi B speaking in her crazy awesomeness that she usually does, and somebody just lip synced it.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that means my cat is meowing at the door. Technically, that means that Cardi B could hit up that creator, no matter what size they are, and ask for money back from them. If they got a bunch of views off it or whatever, they could be like, hey, give me the compensation, give me the money now, because you used that.
Interesting.
So we definitely do not want that to happen, because it'll turn TikTok into even more of a hellscape than it already is.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like 99% of what drives the algorithm is viral sounds. It's not the content itself; it's the audio. Sure, it's like a massive algorithm booster. So yeah, that'd be crazy if we just had people being sued or seeking damages or seeking compensation left, right, and center. Man, that would kill the app.
Absolutely. And the thing is, one great thing that TikTok actually just introduced, which would probably turn this on its head, is for lesser known musicians on TikTok, they can apply to have their music on their page, like, you know, as soon as you go on the page you can see their music, but also creators can be offered compensation not compensation, sorry, more like what's the word that basically like almost sponsorship money, incentive. That's it, incentive money.
Right.
To use lesser known songs.
Okay.
So to help artists get out there more, TikTok is basically offering creators incentive to use those lesser known songs to boost them out, to get them into more ears, just to help out the small artists, which I think is fantastic. But
yeah, you could. There's an argument to be made for that, for sure.
Yes, but if this lawsuit goes through and if Anthony Fantano wins, then that could turn that on its head and mean that that's probably not going to happen, because even if, you know, I don't think there'd be anything to say that if a creator's been paid an incentive pay packet, whatever, for using a sound, that the artist still can't just go and ask them for compensation, and it would make creators more scared to do so, I would think.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair point. How long is this? When did this come into effect?
This only came up, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Right. Okay. So it's pretty new.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And okay. So it's basically, where do you see this going? The Fantano v Activision.
I personally see it. I see Activision winning based on, honestly, even if it's just based on the fact that they have more money and they have better lawyers than I'm sure Anthony Fantano does, the vegan melon man that he is. I honestly think, I think Activision would win, but on the very off, because it also depends on what judge they get, as these court cases that I'm going to bring up in a minute would tell you as well. It just depends on what judge they get, what jury they get. If the jury is really up on anything that's really happening in the internet space, if they really understand TikTok, I don't think many people understand TikTok, to be honest. It's a freaking hellscape. But I just,
good word.
Yeah. But I just hope that there's some people in the jury who've actually done their research and know what the hell they're talking about and know the ramifications of whatever outcome is to happen with this case. I really do.
Right.
Yep. So, ready to move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Okay.
What we got?
Are you familiar with the Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams versus Marvin Gaye estate case?
Ooh. Oh, wait. That goes back to their song Blurred Lines, right?
Correct.
And okay, I'm 1 for 1 so far.
Yep.
Let's see if I can continue this winning streak. So, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Marvin Gaye claim that they stole like a particular or made a chord progression that was like suspiciously similar to one of Gaye's previous songs, and they're essentially accusing them of plagiarism?
Incorrect. The plagiarism part is correct, but it was a bass line.
A bass line, okay.
Yes. Which,
can you own a bass line?
No, that's the thing. In copyright law, copyrightable elements of a song are lyrics and melody.
Okay.
Not bass line. So, basically, what happened was, it was Marvin Gaye's family that claimed that Blurred Lines infringed the bass line of Marvin Gaye's song "Got to Give It Up," and that it was nearly identical. Now, again, as I said, you can't copyright a bass line. Lyrics and melody are the only things you can copyright. So that's what makes this weird, is because Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams lost that case. They were ordered to pay a total of $7.3 million, but they appealed, and it got reduced to just $5.3 million.
Pocket change.
Yeah, exactly. For Robin Thicke, I mean, Mr. Lost Without You, it should be fine. Pharrell Williams, Mr. Happy, it's all good. Okay. But in addition to roughly $9,000 in prejudgment interest on damages, and 50% of songwriter and publishing revenue going forward.
Bro, that's fucking insane, my guy. That's crazy.
Now, this comes back to what I was saying before about, depends what jury you get, what judge you get. It really...
Did they, I mean, do you know any of the nitty-gritties of the case as to, like, how they, like, what was the persuasive winning argument that came through from Gaye's side? That led him to win it.
That's the thing.
If they're literally, if copyright law does not include a baseline, then what other grounds would they win the suit on?
Well, that's the thing. Everything points to the fact that they shouldn't have won the case, but the jury still came to the decision that they just think that. But basically, it was based on the fact that they just think that that the baseline did sound nearly identical, so they should pay. That was literally just it.
I have a theory here, and it's just a theory. I'm just thinking out loud, really. Let me know what you think about
theory. This. Sorry.
Okay, real quick. Do you watch him still? I used to watch him all the time.
Every now and then. I
feel like his glory days were his FNAF analyses, and when his fucking ridiculous rabbit holes that he jumped down there.
Well, yeah, I heard recently. I think he's planning. Well, thinking about selling his company off, kind of like how Smosh did at one stage. Which Anthony Padilla is trying to advise him against it, but we'll see what happens.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, so my theory is this: like, if at the end of the day, if the deciding factor in this case is not pertaining to copyright law, and it is down to the the particularities of the jury, let's say, part of me is wondering if it simply comes down to the fact that Marvin Gaye is known as, again, one of, a pretty well-established legend in the music industry as a whole, and Blurred Lines. Sorry, I blanked on the name then for a second. Blurred Lines came under quite a bit of fire, quite a bit of controversy a few years ago, if you remember, because of the sort of subtext of the song. A lot of people were saying that it was like glorifying rape or something along those lines. Yep. And so I'm wondering if it would come in this case, if it came down to something like that, or if that at least played a part in the jury's decision.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely could have been a part of it, because, I mean, that's the thing. This case ended in 2015, and I believe the song itself came out in 2012 or 2013.
2013.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the case went on for a couple of years. So I wouldn't mind betting that was the case, and I mean, they probably didn't like. I mean, that's the thing. It was probably also the fact that, they're like, well, Marvin Gaye being, kind of, I mean, he wasn't even really that clean cut, really. I mean, one of his most popular songs was Sexual Healing.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't really that clean cut. So, I mean, yeah, okay, you don't want to be associated with rape. I don't think anybody does. But but at the same
for yourself.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay, all right, let's cut that bit out.
Yeah. I think the No Games podcast with Jaden, Jesse, and Bubz is cancelled. And so
we
is
went
Bubz.
for a speed run.
Yeah.
A cancelled speed run.
Yeah. Hey, honestly, we should do an episode on that. Just say the most crazy shit the whole time.
Yeah, we do a segment. We release it on Patreon. It's behind a paywall.
Where you just hear us say the N-word multiple times. I'm kidding. That is just the pass to get straight to cancellation. Okay.
First subscription comes through. It's Tom McDonald.
Yeah. Yeah. And second one is Adam Calhoun.
Adam Calhoun.
Okay. But
we're off topic.
Yeah, exactly. But for sure, I think they definitely looked at it and were just like, hey, we don't want this legend to be associated with this kind of thing, and it's just
it could be. But I mean, it's not an area that I'm in any way an expert in or that familiar with. But as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure what the rules are with civil suits, but I know certainly with criminal suits, it is of the utmost importance that the jury remains as unbiased as possible, right? 100%. And I feel like that's very, very, very hard to do when you're dealing with a civil lawsuit that's centered around two incredibly well-known music artists. The jury is just naturally going to be clued in to both of those songs in a way that, say, a jury covering a murder trial is not going to be, right? And so it's much easier to introduce those internal biases. And so I feel like if that is, I would find it very, very hard to believe that those internal biases did not play a significant role in the outcome of this trial, given the fact that Gaye won on grounds that, again, when it comes down to the actual copyright law, he didn't have a leg to stand on.
Yep.
So,
100%. And just to say as well. So, not Marvin Gaye, his family. So the Marvin Gaye estate, because Marvin Gaye is unfortunately not with us anymore. I don't know if you know. Do you know how Marvin Gaye passed away?
How he passed away?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
If allegedly, I believe this is the case. I will look this up just to be sure. Okay, because it's kind of crazy. All right. Marvin Gaye death. Now that's in my search history. Yes.
Much worse.
Okay. So yes, I was correct. Okay, he died. He was shot twice by his father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, how old was he? I thought he was old.
He was. Let's see. Age. He was 44 when he died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's younger than I thought he was.
Yeah, he wasn't that old at all. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, so basically, again, this is what another point that I wanted to make as well is that I don't like the idea of, like, I understand trying to preserve your past family members, legacy and things like that.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like it's just like you don't know what they would have thought. You may not be as musically minded as they were. I'm not saying anything about Marvin Gaye's family specifically, but his family may not be as musically minded as he was, and he may have heard it and been like, "Hey, that's kind of cool. That was inspired by me." Like,
right.
That's like, honestly, if that was something as small as that, if that happened with one of my songs, like, and somebody had used like something as simple as that and it was inspired by me, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's so dope.
Well, I suppose that's when it comes down to it, that's the whole point of, I guess, him having entrusted them with power of attorney, right?
Yeah.
Is you kind of you're placing a lot of trust and faith in someone, or your family in this case, to do right by you and make the right judgment calls when it comes to your legacy and your assets. Because I mean, I guess you could make an argument that if you're in music, that anything copyrightable by law is an asset, right? Financially. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it comes down to that. But yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I feel like, I mean, who knows? Maybe if I were in Marvin Gaye's shoes, in terms of my status and whatnot, I would feel differently. But certainly, right now, I feel like I wouldn't want to make that. I wouldn't want to make a mountain out of a molehill over something like a baseline, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So all right. No, I'm really surprised that they won that case. I
know, and so are a lot of people, and I think that mostly I feel like maybe Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams could have appealed it, but maybe they were just over it by that point, and just at that stage it's just like, I mean, yeah, $5.3 million is a lot of money, but to them, I don't think it would have hurt them for too long.
Do you think it comes down to something as cynical as just greed, or is that too simple a motivator?
I think it plays a part for sure, because I mean, think about it like this. I mean, I don't doubt that Marvin Gaye's music is still being streamed by a lot of people. For sure it is. Mm-hmm. But streams don't make as much as sales.
That's fair.
So, I feel like they may have realized that not as much money is rolling in, and then they're just like, they heard this song and they're like, hey, that sounds inspired by Marvin. You know what? Let's try and do something about this and see what happens. And unfortunately, it played in their favor.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's move on to the next.
Give me a cheerful one, please. For the love of God, I'm begging you.
Okay. I'll give you the cheerful one first, and then we'll go back to the shitty one. All right.
What a way to end. Okay,
yes.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, this one is called Richard Overton versus, I'm going to probably butcher this pronunciation, but let's go. Anheuser-Busch.
Okay. Furiously Googles these people.
Yes. So, Anheuser-Busch, I don't know if that's pronounced right, but whatever.
Anheuser-Busch, as in like the beer company, like, or the overarching parent company of Bud Light and all that stuff. Okay, right.
Correct.
Yep.
Yes. So, yes, as Joe just said, they are a beer company. Now, in 1991, Mr. Richard Overton sued Anheuser. Wait, how did I pronounce it again? Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah. Anheuser-Busch. Okay, there we go. We're having another pronunciation thing. Got to sound it out. All right. So Richard Overton sued Anheuser-Busch for $10,000, claiming the company had falsely advertised the scene of beautiful women and men enjoying themselves while drinking beer. Overton was upset when he discovered that this type of lifestyle was not reality from merely drinking beer. How do you think that, Cass?
My initial thoughts are, what did he sue for? 10 grand?
Yep, 10 grand.
Just fucking give it to the guy. That's like, they make that in like a second.
Yeah. Just
that's probably like a lunch expense for them.
Exactly. The guy sounds lonely. Just give him 10 grand and a hooker and send him on his way. All right.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Man. I love hearing about these things. People kick up fuss about them. If you ever feel like you're overreacting to a situation, just think about the fact that people like that exist. Yep. Right?
Hey, if it was now, he would be on the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. Okay.
yeah, he would. Am I the arsehole for suing a giant beer company for 10 grand?
Yeah. For
because my life's been a fucking misery because all I've gotten from drinking their product is cirrhosis of the liver.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. So, how do you think that case turned out?
Tell me the particularities of the suit again. What exactly did he sue them for? What were the grounds?
He sued them just for the fact that the lifestyle that they portrayed in their advertisements was not was not accurate to what he experienced when he drank their beer. In the ways of being surrounded by beautiful women.
Wait, so are you telling me that when I use Head and Shoulders shampoo, I'm not magically transported to a waterfall in a tropical jungle?
You ain't been
lying to me this whole fucking time? Do I need to go take down Head and Shoulders?
Hey, last time I used Head and Shoulders with Old Spice, Terry Crews was in front of me popping his pecs, okay? Alright, so...
See, that didn't happen to me either. Okay, you gotta give me the cheat codes, bro.
Yeah, you gotta hit up your lawyer right now, okay?
Yeah, seriously, well...
Get him on the phone. Podcast over, I'm calling my lawyer.
How do I feel this one went? I am fully inclined to believe that he won that. Please tell me he won that.
The case was promptly dismissed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh. I'm also not surprised.
Yeah, I wish that the judge was just like, you know what? You're a big company. Just give him the money, and both of you just get the fuck out of my courtroom.
Fuck off. Yeah, I want to go get lunch. Go away.
Like I want to go drink a Bud Light right now. And go party with beautiful women.
The guy goes in and walks in, sees the judge in a jacuzzi with a bunch of babes drinking a Bud Light, and the judge is like, "Oh, this is awkward."
And still with the hairpiece thing on too. Just.
Oh God, no! I don't want to imagine what the texture of those things becomes like if you get them wet.
Oh my God! Yeah. And do they wash them?
I don't know, man.
Any judges out there who are listening to this or watching this, please let us know. Do they get washed? Okay. Do you send them to like a dry cleaner or something?
All right, I'm gonna Google this.
Okay.
What are judges' wigs made of? Okay. So the proper term is a court dress.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Right. While I'm looking through this Wikipedia article. So it was promptly dismissed?
Yes, it was promptly dismissed, and he did not get any money. He did not get anything. They, literally just basically told him to get out. This was in 1991, so I'm honestly surprised that it hasn't happened again since, as far as I know. Anyway, I couldn't find anything. But I really think that, as I said before, I mean, I think they could have just given him the money, to be honest. Or, at the very least, they could have been like, okay, no, do you want 10 grand? We'll give you 5 grand if you just leave us alone. Okay?
Yeah.
And he would have been just like, I'm sure if he was only suing for 10 grand, he probably would have been like, yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if they just, if it went back to the whole principle of like the sum of money and the impact it would have on the defendant is irrelevant. It's about sticking to the letter of the law, and in this case, it was completely frivolous.
Oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, you're right. There is part of you that just thinks 10 grand, get over it. That's But yeah.
But
I was kind of part of me was really hoping he won that one just because of how frivolous it was.
Yeah, and the thing that I find kind of weird, because I'm sure there's some sort of process that the case would go through before it even reaches the courtroom, so to make sure that everybody's time's not getting wasted, wouldn't it? Like.
I don't know. That would be a question for my lawyer friend who's actually coming over in like an hour.
Yeah. So, okay. So in a couple of episodes, I might get you to ask him that if you remember. In a couple of episodes, like we'll come back and we'll revisit
definitely.
that.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a process? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the only again, it's not an area that I'm at all familiar with, but I would imagine, if I had to guess, that I mean, you have to make the other party aware. Obviously, you have to serve them, or you have to get a lawyer to serve them the suit papers.
Yep.
And then obviously, then before it goes to court, you are presented with an opportunity to settle it outside of court.
Yep.
But I assume, as far as I'm aware, that might be the only way in which you can stop a case from going to court based on the frivolity of it, right? Is that that's decided between the two parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, now that I say that, I think judges do have the discretion to not take a case.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I don't understand why it even made it to the courtroom. It's just like, I feel like anybody reading through that would just be like, no, I'm not going to waste like this judge's time with that. I mean,
right. What I want to know is what lawyer took that case,
right,
on behalf of Overton.
Honestly, but that's the thing. Okay, there is a lawyer pretty much anywhere that will take any case. Okay.
Yeah, his name's Saul Goodman.
Exactly.
And he's a little bit occupied right now.
Yep. Yep. He's a little bit eccentric and a little bit working outside the confines of the law, but they don't know that. Sorry, am I bored? No, I'm kidding.
I'm tired, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I feel like every single time we get on a call, I've been drinking the night before. I swear I don't have a problem. Swear.
Hey, I didn't bring it up this time. Okay, all right.
Fucking Anheuser-Busch, man. They promised me an array of bikini-clad girls, and all I got was low iron.
Yeah. Hey, shut up. You got your wife anyway. That's fine. All right.
That's true.
Yep. And I'm alone again. All right. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. So, technically, in some ways, Mr. Marvin Gaye is back again.
Okay. Oh, or his legacy is.
Yes.
His power. His money-hungry family are.
Well, not even that this time. This time it's even another couple of steps removed from that.
Okay.
So this is Ed Sheeran / songwriters / Warner Brothers Music Group versus Ed Townsend family. Now,
okay.
Ed Townsend, you got any idea who that is?
I know the name, yeah.
Okay.
It's such a well-known name.
Yes. Well, Ed Townsend's family was suing Ed Sheeran, claiming that Thinking Out Loud, Ed Sheeran's song, blatantly copied the harmonic progressions, rhythmic elements, and heart of Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On.
I have never made the connection between those two songs, so this will be interesting.
Yes, well, the one thing that, probably would have kind of brought it to the attention of people is because Ed Sheeran, quite often at his shows, did mash up the two. Just because he realized later that they have kind of similar chords and they sound good together. But the thing that strikes me about this case is the fact that on paper even, it was written that they were suing for Ed Sheeran copying the heart of the song.
Oh, give me a fucking break. So like what, the essence?
Yeah, exactly. How do you, again, as we discussed before, copyright is lyrics and melody. And
right.
So that's the thing. 2 out of the 3 things they were suing them for, that they were trying to sue Ed Sheeran for, were not grounds enough to sue him. Harmonic progressions, okay, fair enough, that's part of melody. Rhythmic elements, not a part of melody. Right. Heart, not a part of melody. That's a feeling.
Not a part of melody. Although, I could see them making a very, albeit not a weak, but a thin one. Yeah. A vague, wishy-washy one. I could see how they would try to potentially make a case that the melody embodies the heart of the song, and therefore you can make an argument that they're connected, and that if something is capturing or if something is mimicking or piggybacking off the heart of another song, that could be that's being construed through similar melodic vibes. Something. See, it sounds vague, it sounds wishy-washy because it is, but I can see how they could potentially try and chance that one.
Well, yeah, and again, the thing is that also comes back to the fact that, I mean, this was... So, one of the songwriters of the song's family, again, may not be as musical-minded as this man was, Ed Townsend. So, they may not really understand that, really. Like, they're just like, okay, I get a similar feeling when I hear this song as I did when I heard Marvin Gaye's Let's Get On. So, you know, there's definitely some stuff that was copied here, you know, but I feel like it just isn't... I mean, to copy the heart of a song is just... It would be very easy, I think. Well, not easy, but it could be coincidental for somebody to make a song and for it to have a similar feeling to another song. You know, like... Yeah,
no, that's fair.
I mean, if that was...
I mean, is this going to lead us down a path where, you know, artists can sue other artists because artist A's song was renowned for invoking feelings of nostalgia, and artist B's song does the same thing? You know what I mean? If we get fans saying, "Oh, this song made me so nostalgic," and we're going to be like, "Okay, that's an easy lawsuit right there." Like, it's ridiculous. Like, where does it end?
Exactly. Like, if that was the case, then from freaking 2013 to 2016, I guess, DJ Mustard would have had a bunch of lawsuits against the producer Nick Nack. Yeah.
I mean, and also, think about this one. There was a period of time I think it was around 2015. Yeah, around 2015, 2016, where pretty much every pop song, to name a few, to name one example, it was, Worth It by Fifth Harmony, when Fifth Harmony was still a thing.
Yep.
That kind of, that sax riff that was in pretty much every pop song / rap song of the time. People milk the fuck out of that. Like,
oh yeah.
But, you know what I mean? And you could make way more of a case there that's potentially grounds for copyright than capturing the heart of another song.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of, because there was. Have you ever seen any videos by Brett Domino?
No.
Okay, so he did.
New.
Sorry.
I just said new.
Oh, okay. So basically, he did videos with him and another guy, which is funny because they're two guys, but they call themselves the Brett Domino Trio.
Okay.
Now they did some videos on how to make a pop song, how to make a hit pop song, and they did one that was basically the idea of copying, as I'm sure you were kind of referring to with, you know, the saxophone riff and everything. They were kind of copying Jason Derulo's "Talk Dirty." Yeah. Now, but the funny part was that instead of using a saxophone for the breakdown, they used a bassoon.
Oh no. A bassoon. I can't remember the last time I heard someone use a bassoon.
It was hilarious, because these guys, like, especially both of them are like just these awkward, nerdy British guys, and they're singing these lyrics like, "Girl, I want to take you to lunch" and stuff like that, and and then just blowing into this bassoon for the breakdown is just hilarious. But anyway.
Oh, the Brett Domino Trio. So there's a TV show, there's a program over here, or in the UK rather, on Channel 4 called it's like a panel comedy show, and it's called 8 out of 10 Cats.
Yeah,
that's Countdown. Show. And I'm just looking them up, and they've made quite a few appearances on that show as like a cameo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do a lot of. I think they did like some like just improv songs and stuff like that on there, which is
Yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. Now that I've seen them, I do know who they are.
Yeah.
I just before we wrap up this episode, I gotta tell you something that I saw. It was the Anheuser-Busch thing that reminded me of it.
Yeah.
It baffles me just how many stupid disclaimers companies have to put in their adverts now because people will sue over literally anything.
Yeah.
There was an advert for Mini Cooper a few years ago, and it had a scene where it, like, you know how in the Austin Powers movie it turns into a submarine,
Yeah.
like it doubles as a submarine.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of made a play on that, and they show the car submerging into water. And I kid you not, in tiny print, talk about small print. It was like literally you needed a magnifying glass to see it, to read it, but they were covered technically because it was on the screen.
Yeah.
It said, "This is CGI. Car does not actually drive underwater. Please do not attempt." And I'm like, that kind of just implies that there'd be someone out there that would fucking try it, and I fully believe that there would be.
Absolutely, somebody is stupid enough. Okay.
I guess the Ocean Gate billionaires didn't read that small print. Anyway,
Yeah.
this has been great.
Yes. Well, let me just quickly finish out with the details of this case and how things kind of turned out. So,
Sure.
basically, while the case was going on, Ed Sheeran threatened to quit music.
Wow.
If he lost
So
the
he
case.
threw his toys out the pram.
Yep, pretty much. But I mean, the thing is, because the reason that he said for it, and this is his quote, he said, he found it really insulting to devote my whole life to being a performer and a songwriter and have someone diminish it. Which I think is fair.
Yeah, I guess so. I could see where he's coming from. That. I mean, look, nobody likes to be accused of intellectual theft.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
But when it's over something especially when it's over something as frivolous as stealing the heart of a song, come on, bro.
Exactly. Now, basically, to put it simply, Ed Sheeran won, which is great. And basically, Townsend's family's lawyer said that her clients, quote, had not claimed to own basic musical elements, but rather the way in which these common elements were uniquely combined.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to think about that.
Yeah, fair enough. So, basically, the jury had deliberated for 3 hours before they came to a conclusion. They came to the conclusion that independent creation is not complete defense, and no matter how similar the song is, which I agree with. I think I don't think that Ed Sheeran specifically sought out while he was writing this song to be like, hey, I want to write a song exactly like Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On," and that's going to make it a hit. I highly doubt that was his mindset going in. But yes, so he won the case. He was found not guilty of plagiarism. But one unfortunate thing that happened during this court case is that because of the trial, which already Ed Sheeran felt was kind of was a waste of time and a waste of, it made it seem like a waste of his talents. He unfortunately missed his grandmother's funeral due to the trial as well.
Oh shit, that does suck.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
I feel like he could countersue for that.
I think so too, but at the same time, I think he's probably just over it at this point, and
right. He just wanted to get it done and dusted and move on. Yeah,
exactly. Because I'm pretty sure this one lasted for like 5 years, I think. Jesus. So I think
a lot of stress to carry around for 5 years.
Absolutely, and then I mean he took a year hiatus as well, and he just. So I think during that time, mostly he was probably just so annoyed with everything, and the fact that, as he said, that his his craft was being diminished like that. It probably it would have taken a toll on him, I would think.
For sure. It would have taken a toll on anyone. But yeah, he's 5 years. Jesus.
Now, Ed Sheeran is also being sued by an investment banker that holds copyright interests in the Marvin Gaye song as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so it's never
continued.
Exactly. So I'm gonna leave that there because that's so interesting court cases, man. I just think in conclusion, I think I'll just say that I believe in independent creation, and I don't think that anybody really I don't think everybody sets out to copy a song specifically. Right. But if they did, then they should absolutely get, be, I don't want to use the term raked over the coals, but I almost said raped over the coals. Holy shit! Oh god, I'm so exactly. You put rape in my head, okay? You're the one who mentioned rape, okay? I'm gonna cut all that out, okay?
This is slander, and you will be hearing from my attorneys.
Hey, I have the recordings, my boy. All right.
Doctored. They're all doctored.
It's Photoshop. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna end this episode here. Thank you everybody so much for listening, and also thank you, Joe, for listening to my babbling nonsense about these lawsuits. This
is one of my this is the stuff that keeps me up at night. So you're very welcome.
Oh, that's awesome, and I really appreciate your input on this because you did provide some interesting perspectives which I didn't really think about. So that's what this is for, man. That's what this discourse is for.
For sure.
Well,
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure.
Awesome, man. Well, that has been the No Games podcast, guys. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Thank you to the creeps for watching. Yeah, that is it for this episode. Later, guys.
Take care.